everybody, and welcome back to the Realm of Vasten, episode 6. We're back into the time lapses after a little bit of a world tour, which, honestly, I gotta tell you, I should actually probably do a world tour again right away, because the world is about double the size of it was back in episode 5. That's okay, we'll get there back in episode 10. But today is time to actually break away from doing the little houses. Now, we're gonna be back to that. I'll explain that in just a minute here. But right now, I want to get into building my base. So if you remember back in the last seasons of the Realm of Vasten, we were all allowed personal bases, and they could be in any kingdom in the world, as long as they were in an existing kingdom, attached by road and had some lore. That was the story. Well, since we're starting fresh this season, we thought it would be cool to be able to have personal bases and your own sort of thing, all within the city. So all of us who want to will have personal bases all within Dawnport. So mine is just a little bit north. That's why I built these filler houses just a little bit north of the city here. I mean, still in the city, but on the northern side of the city, because I wanted them to completely surround my giant circle. You can see I finally got laid out here. The circle's 121 blocks in diameter. I wanted to have a center block, so I went with the odd number. But it's 121 blocks, and these are going to be the walls. Now, within the walls are going to be a few towers, and on the walls are going to be towers as well. We're going to have they're going to be your kind of standard medieval tower. But in addition to that, within the city, there's going to be 3 massive towers, probably one more massive than the others, and it's going to be spectacular because these people, they are religious zealots. That's the idea, and their religion is anti-color. They think wearing color or seeing color is an extravagance of personal pride or showing how you're different than everyone else, and these people are anti-color, so they deal all in grayscale, all in blacks, whites, and grays. So that means the land, the castle, the builds, they'll all be grayscale. And I think it's going to be a really, really, really cool thing. In addition to that, knowing that that's the way it is, I'm going to be able to go out within the city of Dawnport and build maybe some churches or, I don't know, shrines or something for their religion that's also going to be all grayscale that I think could be really, really cool. That's going to bring in some challenges, though, because there are some things in Minecraft that are not gray. For example, grass and leaves and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to have to work around that stuff to make it all work in the way that I intend. Now, I made some decisions here on the fly. First, I took down all these trees, and then secondly, I thought about it, and I need stone. I need so much cobble and so much smooth stone. And I had been going down underground and digging, and I thought, man, this is really a drag because I keep going down and digging, and, you know, whenever you're digging with only one beacon, you run out of beacon room pretty quickly. So I made the executive decision on the fly that I'm going to dig down my base just a little bit. And then just a little bit became a lot, and then just a lot became an epically huge amount. So the idea is, yeah, we are going to have a big dig here, but it's going to be under the towers, and a lot of this build is going to be down below where sort of the main city part is. There's a reason for that. I actually wanted more space, to be totally honest. I wanted more space for these towers, but I can't. If you see up in the top of the screen there, that's Foxy Monoxide build. On the other side is Warlock Robbie's build, and on the other side is a river. So I am using basically all the space that I have available, and that's kind of, you know, it is what it is, a drag. Anything bigger than this, I think, would look ridiculous in the city because it would take up like half the city. So I didn't want to go bigger than this. I think it's the right size. It's not too big, it's not too small, but it is going to be limiting in space. So what am I going to do with that? Well, I'm going to go down underground. So we're going to have a large underground component to this as well. Today's episode is basically laying out where the walls are going to be and digging down and just clearing it. So you people who love watching landscape transformations, well, it's your lucky day, because I'm just basically digging today. But I thought it was important to get one episode where our feet are on the ground, we start to lay out the plans, we have a center base area, and we start to prepare where the sort of outer rings are going to be. I don't know how big the inner tower can be. The plan is going to be there's a tower right in the center, right about where the beacon is. I actually messed up the beacon. It's a little bit off center, but, you know, essentially where that dugout rectangle is. That's where my storage building is going to be for right now, and that's going to turn into the main tower. Now, how big can it be? Because I don't want to take up the entire thing with just the base of the tower, which if I want to go up very tall, I kind of need to, right? I don't know. Next episode, we're actually going to lay out the footprint of the tower and of some of the landscaping bits. I have a plan in mind for the tower easily. I have for some time, but the one thing I don't have necessarily is a plan for what's going to go down underground. So if you have any ideas or any suggestions of what I can do in the underground component of this, then I would love to hear it in a comment. If you have any ideas of how we can incorporate sort of the grayscale theme, no color, that's going to be really important to these people's religious fanaticism. But if you have any ideas of what we can do underground, I would really love to hear it. I'd love to try to incorporate that as much as I can into the build. Now, also, in addition, the walls on the outside, they're going to need to be taller by a good bit. Because if you're within the city, within the castle, rather, I need a name for it too. If you're within the castle without color, you can't look out and see, a big granite roof line or whatever. That was going to totally mess up your thing. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make these walls tall enough that you cannot see outside of the castle, and that's going to be super important. But that also means that you can't see in. So I want this to be tall enough that you can't see out, but then also the buildings within it to be tall enough that you can see the roofs from the outside of the city, if you follow my thinking there. I think it's going to be a really good fit. There's one other problem that I can see right now is what are these people going to eat? We have no grayscale food for crops. I'd like to plant some big crop farms, but we don't. All the crops are extremely, colorful, right? So I don't know. I don't know. I need a good idea there. It can be a pretend crop too. I don't care if it's necessarily a real crop. I have been thinking maybe one of the dead coral variants and stuff, but that's a hardcore grind to get enough of that, at least up until we have the old coral farm back open to the world. Speaking of open to the world, that's going to be coming probably February 1st or around there, where we're going to have a portal. I think JermsyBoy, I believe, is working on the lore and the portal of how we're going to get back, because these people, they don't know about the old world of Vasten. But maybe one secret society actually does, and we're going to write some lore where that way we can travel back and forth if we need to. But also, it doesn't make sense that there's going to be a ship, because a ship would be like, well, everyone would see the ship, and that would be public knowledge. We don't want that. So there's going to be some sort of magical portal that I think Drama is working out the story and the build and all that kind of stuff in good time. We still have several months until that actually happens. But that all being said, thank you so much for watching this episode of Vasten2, a bit of a landscapey episode. And I'm going to let the credits roll. Thank you so much for my YouTube members and my patrons, and I'll see you all next episode. Bye, everybody.